Thank you all for coming. I called this press conference today to tell Ugandans, to tell other people around the world, hoping that you can actually get a message through Uganda to the rest of the world, to those who care about Dr. Kizza Besigye, that he is not well, that he's ill, and I'm very concerned about his health. Last Monday, the prison was closed to visitors. We were taken by surprise. I requested, and they said it would last a week because of elections. I asked whether I could take them some food because they were not ready with this order not to be visited for a week. I think I should explain that the visitors are allowed on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at Luzira Prison. And that is so because the prison is over congested. It has like 4 or 5 times more prisoners than it should have. They are not able to look after them. So most prisoners, their families bring them food and they cook for themselves. They don't allow in any way of, there's no refrigerator, nothing. Only raw food is brought. So you keep bringing. You bring one matoke, you come back after 2 days, you bring another, you bring beans, you bring. There's no facilities for storing for a couple of days. Those are the conditions. So on Tuesday, I was allowed to send their food, but not to see him. So his sister Margaret delivered food on Tuesday. And we didn't see him until this Monday, yesterday. I went to see him and found him very ill. And he told me that he had been ill since Saturday. He had acute stomach pain and his temperature was high. And he was severely dehydrated. He had refused to be treated by the prison authorities, his captors, and was insisting on being seen by his own doctor. It wasn't until his personal doctor, Dr. Nandi Kanyerezi, God bless her, went there, pleaded with the prison authorities to allow her to have him at her clinic to be examined, because she said there was nothing there at the prison, not enough that he could use to examine him. They did not allow this until quite late in the evening. They waited for darkness and they brought him to Dr. Nandi's clinic in Bugolobi. I found out, I was not notified by the prison authorities, I am his next of kin. I found out in some way and rushed there. I found him there, and the doctors had taken many tests, which they will find out in due course what the results give. They had done examinations and they had decided to put him on a drip and administer an antibiotic and rehydration. An antibiotic because they said with somebody in prison, they can't wait for the results of the tests because he could go back and get worse. So they decided to be preemptive. So his sister and I were there at the clinic while he was being treated. He, after receiving 2.5 bottles of water in his body, he still wasn't passing urine, and the doctor said he was severely dehydrated and asked for him to remain on hydration. The prison authorities took him back to prison at night. In taking him back, I asked the doctor what was going to happen next. She said she wanted to review him today. I asked the authorities, the prison officers there, will you bring him back to the clinic today? And they said they don't know. That's a decision from above. Dr. Besigye doesn't have a right to see his personal doctor. This is decided from above, and it's a long negotiation. I want to thank very much Dr. Nandi. This is the second time she has negotiated with them to have him brought to her clinic to be thoroughly examined. It's not a right. In fact, the prison authorities told me that if I talk about him being taken to the clinic, that they may not allow him again to see his personal doctor. What an outrage. Where is that from? No. So then I followed the prison officials as they escorted him to their cars. I must say that when Dr. Besigye arrived at the clinic, I am told, I learned this from the medical people, that he wasn't even in a position to stand up straight, that he was shaking, he told me himself, and unable to walk without support. By the time he left after being treated, he was walking, but you could see that with difficulty. 6 prison warders were surrounding him, and they marched him down the stairs from the 2nd floor. I followed them up to the basement. Their cars were waiting for him at the basement. They bundled him in their pickup truck, one warder on one side, the other on the other side, him squeezed in the middle, and drove off. What was of grave concern to me was that all along at the clinic, I arrived, I had found there a woman who was dressed in civilian clothes, very strange clothes. She had a chitambala over her head, dressed like the way a Muslim woman would wear her, not hijab, her veil. But she wasn't wearing it properly like a Muslim woman would. So she looked funny with a big white tambala on her head. I thought she looked curious. When the warders were taking Dr. Besigye, she followed them. So I also followed her. When we got to the basement, I got near her to ask her who she was, and she started to run. There was another car that was waiting for her. She feared to enter it and ran to another corner. I managed to take a picture of her back, and she pulled off her chitambara. These are the military intelligence people who are holding Dr. Besigye. I'm here to tell you that Dr. Besigye isn't a prisoner held by the prison authorities. No. He is a captive of Mr. Museveni and his son, the army commander. They are the ones holding him. They have their own military people in that prison who guard Dr. Besigye. He is a captive. He is not like any prisoner who has committed a crime and is being held there by the prison warders. He has always been held by Mr. Museveni and his son. The courts are also, the prison is a front for holding Dr. Besigye. But the people holding Dr. Besigye are Museveni and his son. The courts are just the place where they want him convicted, but they control them. He controls the courts, and he wants him convicted so that he can continue to hold him in the prison, held by military men, and he wants to kill him. He wants Besigye to die in prison. Why is it that in this week when they shut the prison, that is the week when he falls sick? Why is it that they want to bring him? They refuse him to see his personal doctor in the first place. At her insistence, they bring him secretly. They do not inform me, his next of kin. And they threaten me not to talk about it to the public. He's a leader. He's a public figure. He's the leader of the opposition. Why wouldn't they tell the public that Dr. Besigye is not well and we have taken steps to have him treated? It is sinister. It's a sinister plot. And I'm here to say to Mr. Museveni, enough is enough. Stop holding Besigye as your captive. Stop opposing his bail application. Drop that charge of treason against him. This is not the first time. 20 years ago, he was framed with treason. That was dismissed by the courts. Now, Museveni is back saying that Besigye wants to kill him. And we are going to see in court once again a lot of lies and fabrications being presented there, this time with a judge who is under instructions to convict him. I want to thank Mayor Elias Lukwago and the amazing team of lawyers who have fought by his side. What they are doing is to expose Museveni before the world and to show that this is not a trial. This is persecution of an opposition leader, criminalization of an opposition leader. There is no truth in it, no law in it, no justice in it. And they have done an excellent job to expose that. From day one, when he went to the military, when they dragged him before the court-martial, when he was not a soldier, to when they held him without any charge for weeks in prison, to when they've denied him bail 4 times. Besigye is not going to run away. He has never run away. Why shouldn't he be at home? This year, in April, Besigye will turn 70. He's an old man. Why is he being bitten by bed bugs in a hot cell with no light, isolated from other prisoners, and now falling sick under mysterious circumstances? It's a plot to kill him. Museveni wants to silence the one leader of the opposition who understands him and who stands up to him and his criminal ways. Let me put it that way. It's criminal to treat your opponent like that, to fabricate, to frame him, and then to slowly kill him in jail. Enough is enough. Enough, Museveni. You are not decent. You're not human. I'm speaking through you to him directly. Enough is enough. You are exposed. I would like to say to Ugandans that the reason behind this, why Mr. Museveni has taken so much time and money and wickedness to frame an innocent man, is because he has an agenda that Besigye knows and Besigye opposes. And that is to extend his dictatorship through his son. After this election, in the next 5 years, we are going to see him make every effort to prepare and to install his son as the next president of our country. He's going to do this in many ways. One, handing him his party, the National Resistance Movement. He has enough sycophants and hungry people on the gravy train who will allow that. Then he will do changes in the military so that that man who is incompetent, whom we know is a loose cannon, threatens other countries, abducts citizens, tortures, and is proud, has promised to hang Besigye and has named where he's going to hang him. This is the kind of man he wants to lead our national army. So he will make changes there to give him the control. And he's likely also to go to his parliament with his speaker, who is a Mabati thief, who has no integrity, to possibly make some changes in the constitution to ensure that he and his son continue to lead this country the way they want, without law, without any basis in law or the constitution, by force. That is the plan. That is the plan Besigye opposes. That is why he wants to slowly kill him in jail. Museveni, take a few steps back and don't do this. Stop it. We know it. Okay, I've said enough. I just wanted to put this out there. I'm speaking in my own capacity as that person who stood next to Kizza Besigye and swore to stand by him in sickness and in health. And I'm standing by him. And I'm saying, Museveni, back off. I'm very concerned. What good can come out of darkness? We were put in total darkness, cut off, and for 4 days didn't know what was going on in the country. When he was declared winner, we are partially brought back because we still don't have, I can't talk on WhatsApp, I can't talk to my office in Switzerland, I can't talk to my family. We're still cut off in many ways. And within that time, we've had worrisome stories of presidential candidate Kyagulanyi escaping from his home. I don't know whether he's been found or he's returned to his home. He's in hiding. The other opposition leader is held in jail and is now very sick. Within this week, when they shut us off and closed the prison, he falls sick. He's been guarded by the military. So all these are not what you expect to get. And then people killed. We had people killed in Butambala. We had people killed. And all we get from President Museveni is that they are terrorists. They are terrorists. This is what has been his main strategy, that those who oppose him legitimately through elections in the parliament sooner or later are criminalized, like Dr. Besigye, who's been in and out of prison for all kinds of trumped up charges. This is the state of democracy in our country. I'm sad about it, because when I was young, I was among those who dropped what we're doing. I was pursuing a PhD program and went to turn our country around to make it a democracy, to make it a just country, to make it a country where everyone has their fair chance to live a good life. But here we are. After an election, someone declares himself a winner, nobody celebrates, people are in hiding, his opposition is in hiding or in prison. What kind of victory is that? It's hollow. It's not real. By Ugandans? No, I don't think so. I think Ugandans are in a very long struggle getting someone who was once a freedom fighter who's turned into a dictator and getting ourselves free from dictatorship, a 40-year dictatorship. It's not easy. It's not easy, and it hasn't been easy for Besigye. It isn't easy for others. I know many who have died in this struggle. I know many who've lost everything in this struggle. I was here on Sunday with many families, very ordinary, poor people, for whom the breadwinner was snatched from them violently and has never been seen again. People have paid with their lives, the ultimate price. So no, I don't think so. I think Ugandans are struggling, and he's one among them. Besigye is facing a capital offense, treason. The punishment for treason is death in this country. Even if you are accused of a smaller crime, the duty of your lawyers is to defend you. And defending you means scrutinizing every step of the process and putting it to question against the law and the Constitution. This is what the lawyers of Besigye have done, bearing in mind that he faces an offense for whose punishment is death. They have failed in 1 year to bring a case that is watertight, that is within the law, and to start and try him. And for their failures, they are blaming Besigye and his lawyers. Not at all. Every time they have come, this last time they were asking that Besigye pleads to a charge that's not even signed. Who does that? Who does that? That you're being accused and that even they do not sign the piece of paper where your charge is? Oh, Museveni. You know, he is indecent, let me say this. It's not decent. He is like somebody who wasn't raised in a family that is loving and that teaches values. If you are already hurting a man, you have bribed or you have paid people to frame him. You come back and you say you are the problem for not being tried. Really? He's blaming him for his own case. I find that so wicked. Really wicked and indecent. See, my safety is with you by being public. Thank you for that question. I should have reason to fear for myself. Why shouldn't I? So many of the people who were here with me on Sunday when we prayed for political prisoners have disappeared. People are being abducted. People are tortured. People are killed and never come back, their families. I should have reason to fear. But I'm not afraid because, one, I'm telling the truth. I've told you the condition Dr. Besigye is in. He's denied bail, he's very sick, and it takes a negotiation to get his doctor to see him. And he's sick under mysterious circumstances. He's surrounded by military intelligence, not prison warders alone. So all these are worrisome things. And I come to you, you are my safety. Because when you put it out there and the whole world knows, well, he will have to harm me again in full view of the whole world. So that is the only safety I have, is that I'm putting it out there to the public. Thank you for the question.